Shalom from Jerusalem, and I'm directing this video my morning at 11 o'clock in Jerusalem, and I want to direct this to my Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Prime Minister Netanyahu, I've done videos before, and I sent videos before to you and to your office, and we are waiting for you, Prime Minister Netanyahu, me, my wife, and of course my daughter. We're waiting for a response from your office. We did get a letter a few months ago stating that they had forwarded our request to yishai. Prime Minister Netanyahu, let me begin with my story. My story is like this. 7 years ago, we discovered that our family names were registered in Spain as Jewish families that were forced to convert to Catholicism during the time of the Inquisition. Our names are registered in el libro verde de Aragon in Spain, where the Jews were forced to convert to Catholicism. My last name is Centeno, Perez, Rios, Rodriguez, all throughout my family, and these names are registered in Spain in el libro verde de Aragon. I came here to Israel in 2004, Prime Minister Netanyahu, and once I got here in 2004, I sensed in my nefesh, in my soul, that this is where I belong here in Israel. So I went to the Kotel, the Western Wall, and I started to learn on what is to be a Jew and what is Judaism. And by the way, I'm still learning. I cannot keep the whole 613 commandments. It is impossible for me. But I need your help, Prime Minister Netanyahu. Netanyahu, Prime Minister, we need your support. We need your help. I have been to your office when I believe it was Ehud Olmer was the Prime Minister, and I was sent there by Rabbi Shlomo Amar to meet the rabbi that has an office in your building, at the Prime Minister's building, next to the Interior Ministry. And I went and I met with this rabbi, and I told him, look, I want to come home. I want to do things properly, and I want to do a conversion back to my roots. Yet this rabbi, who was referred to me by Rabbi Peretz from Shlomo Amar's office, which I went to Shlomo Amar's office, said to me, the rabbi that is sitting at the Prime Minister's office in that building, said to me that he could not grant me a visa to do a giur or conversion here in Jerusalem. Which I said to him, you know what, that is totally false. I know that you have the power in that pen that you're holding in your hand. He was holding a pen. And I said, all you have to do is request it. So anyway, I went to him, and he could not help me. I went back to Shlomo Amar. He could not help me, Prime Minister. I went to Rabbi Drachman. He could not help me. I went to Shabbai Israel, Renan Binenbaum, Michael Froon. I went to the Rabbinical Councils of the Americas, and I went to Givat Shaul, to the Religious Affairs, and still I got no help. I did everything. Everything that I thought I needed to do, I did. So I decided to fly back to the U.S., and contact my rabbi, Rabbi Margolis, and I said, look, this is my story. My story is that our names are registered in Spain as a Jewish family that were forced to convert to Catholicism, and I want to come back to my roots. I told them my grandmother went to church, my great-grandmother went to church, my mother never went to church, my father never went to church, and as children, they took us to church, and that was what we learned. Now, for instance, let's say if I was practicing Islam, Buddhism, Confucianism, or any other religion, I would not be denied. But because I went to church, yishai, leor, shahar, masal, cohen, and Elinor Golan, who interrogated me for 2.5 hours in her office, while my attorney just sat there, couldn't even say one word. I felt like I was in a communist country, Prime Minister, when my attorney could not respond to the questions that Elinor Golan was asking me. What country are we living in? Glenn Beck, if you're listening to this, listen to this. This Elinor Golan interrogated me for 2 hours on what? On my conversion. So I forgot one question on Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and she stopped the interview and says, "You cannot be a Jew. Your rabbi's papers are no good. So for that matter, I am not accepting or requesting to Masal Cohen that you be recognized as a Jew, and you're not able to make citizenship here in this country." Wow, shame on her. Prime Minister Netanyahu, listen to this. In this country, you have over 300,000 Russians who are not Jews, who sell pig, eat pig, go to church on Sunday, and they're called Jews. So there's a double standard. I did a conversion. I did a Brit Milah. I did a Mikbeh. I did a Bet Din. I got the certificate from my rabbi. And my rabbi has sent numerous letters to this so-called yishai, who hates Christians. And yet, Natan Sharansky spoke to Elishai. I was told this by Rachel Shiloh, the ombudswoman for the Jewish Agency, that Natan Sharansky spoke to Elishai, who hates me. I don't know why. Elishai, if you're looking at me, why do you hate me? I went to church, so what? I'm not going to deny it. I found my roots, Mr. Prime Minister. Prime Minister, I have a daughter, 1 year old. I cannot work here in Israel. The least you can do is grant me a temporary work visa. My rent is due, Prime Minister. I have not paid my rent. Elishai eats well on Shabbat. I'm sure you eat well. Elishai eats well, drinks whiskey, drinks wine, vodka, whatever. He has a table full of food. Yet my fridge goes empty because Elishai, leor, shahar, masal, cohen, and Elinor Golan have refused to recognize me as a converso marrano anusim Jew from Spain whose family ancestors were forced to convert to Catholicism. Now I'm paying the price. I'm paying the consequences of my ancestors. Why this when you have over 300,000 Russians in this country who eat pig, go to church on Sunday, could care less about Judaism, won't even practice Judaism, won't even go to synagogue, yet they're considered Jews under the law of return. What law of return? I did a conversion, I did a Brit Milah, I did a Giur, I did a Bet Din. That is conversion. Anyway, Prime Minister, my daughter's 1 year old. I need your support. I mean, who am I to turn to? My case is pending before the Israeli Supreme Court. Yehuda Rav, the law firm, is representing us. Not my wife, because my wife is a Jew. And we are legally married. We had to go to Cyprus to get married because we could not get married here in this country. The country that I love. The country that I speak on behalf of. Prime Minister Netanyahu. My rent is past due. You have over 300,000 people that protested in the last 5 weeks, protesting because of the high living costs here in Israel. I think this will be your greatest opportunity, Prime Minister Netanyahu, to show the people that you care about this family, Luden Centeno, Efrat, and Ronnie Joy Centeno. Help us, Prime Minister. And to all news media who are out there, my refrigerator is empty, my rent is past due, I do not have the means to provide for my daughter, my wife. The end of the month, what am I going to say to my wife? I don't have the money. I'm a man. I'm supposed to work and to provide for my family. Prime Minister Netanyahu, and to all news media throughout the world, this will be posted on YouTube to show the world how the Interior Ministry of Israel, Eli Yishai, Leor Shachar, Masal Cohen, and Elinor Golan have treated me. No papers, no work visa. And yet they took 7 months to respond to the Supreme Court. Who the hell am I? That'll take Eli Yishai and his lawyer 7 months to come against me. I am nobody. I am but a speck of dust on the ground. Prime Minister Netanyahu, for the sake of the house of Israel, I'm asking you, help my family. Call me 052-635-7088.